Welcome to the HCG Quick Tip. What is a smart query? Contact HCG at www.harbinger-group.com or 763-785-1028. So what is a smart query? Well, the first thing to note is that it was introduced in version 11.1.2.2, so if you're not up to that version, you won't see it. Second thing to note, it's only available for S-based data connections. You can't use it with a planning data connection, an HFM data connection, and so forth. So what is it? It's another reporting tool like Smart Slices in the Query Designer that uses MDX to create a highly complex query. MDX stands for Multidimensional Expression Language and allows you to create this MDX query using a graphical user interface and allows you to go beyond the capabilities of what the standard SmartView offers and even what the Smart Slice and the Query Designer do. And what you do with a smart query, and I don't expect you to understand this, is you build what are called sets of members. I'll show you this. You filter those members in multiple ways for your query, and then you can save the query, you can save the sets, you can save the filters into something called a repository, and the repository is personal to you. And then while you're in a query, and you can keep on querying in this smart query, you can actually switch it to the ad hoc smart view mode where you can then do zooming in, zooming out, pivoting, keep only, remove only. So let's take a look at what a smart query looks like. Here's how you start the process of creating a smart query. In the Smart View panel, right-click on your database and say New Smart Query Sheet. In this case, I've already got a smart query saved, so I'm going to go up next to my home icon here, and you'll notice that there's a smart query pane within the Smart View panel. And there's an open button there, and I can open up a previously saved query like the one I have here, and I can click on OK. What does a smart query consist of? Rows, columns, points of view, just like before. In other query tools, and I can drag dimensions from the point of view to the columns or the rows, etc., etc. But the real key is I can create sets of members I want on display. So I've created two sets of members from my market dimension to display in my rows here. So I selected the children of East here, and you see that I have the children of my eastern states there. But then I also selected, and I selected those via just selecting either base members like children descendants level 0, or I went to the other and went through member selection to select it, which is what I did. But then I can also, as you see, add custom members like total, count, average, which I've done here. Now in normal Smart View, I'd sort of have to stop at that point, but here I can now select a different set of members. This is set number 2, market set number 2, which I can name anything I want, and I selected the children of the West region, which shows the western states, and I asked for its total count and average also. And you can see that the average for the western states is different than the average for the eastern states. And then from there, I can start doing filtering types of things. So when I select market set 1, I can say add a filter, and down here in the filters area, I can do things like select top and bottom. Query Designer offers this also, but I'm going to actually do more with it this time. So I'm going to only select the top 2 based upon, in my measures dimension, I have sales, cost of goods sold, and margin. I'm going to base mine off of sales, specify that, click on OK, and there you have the top 2 eastern states. Whereas I can go to the market number 2 filter and add another market number 2 set rather, and add a filter to it. And for, let's say this time, I want to do again a top bottom, and notice that with top and bottom you can do count, percent, or sum. I'm just going with count, and I want the bottom, let's say 3. And I can base it off of sales or COGS or margin, it doesn't matter. I'll base it off of sales again. Click OK there. I didn't move it over to the right hand side, so I'm going to select sales, move it to the right hand side, click OK, and there I have my bottom 3 states in the West. And I can add filters to filters. Just by adding another filter, I can add a sub-filter to the existing filter, but that's not what I really want to do. So one question about the repository was, how do you save the query? And the answer is right up here with the Save button. And how do I save a set? I go here to the repository command and save a set. And then I also mentioned that you can go into ad hoc mode simply by pressing this Analyze button. So when I press Analyze, I'm now in Essbase. I'm not in the Smart Query ribbon anymore, and I'm in regular Essbase, and I can do a zoom out command, so forth and so on, whatever I want to do in Smart View ad hoc mode. And then lastly, if I exit Excel, come back into Excel, and I want to get to anything that I've saved, I go to my Smart Query pane, I should say, within the Smart View panel, and click on Open, and I should be able to open my query. And the query opens, and there it is. And if I've saved any sets or anything like that, I can go to the repository here and say Open a set, which I happen to save Market 1 before. And if I click on OK there, I've opened up Market 1 as another set. So I've got Market 1, Market 2, and Market 1 in my report. And that's just the tip of the iceberg as to what Smart Query can do. So check them out when you get a chance. If you're interested in training, be it SmartView, Essbase, the Boot Camp, financial reporting, and so on, contact me, Craig Messenbring, at my email address or the phone number you see. And to contact HCG in general, there's the phone number, the website, the LinkedIn site, and our YouTube HCG University site. So once again, thanks for viewing this video.